my God. No. Don't try
on your retainers.
You're going to stretch his retainers. He's never going to be able to wear them again.
Oh, no. More likely that's going to happen is he's going to break his teeth.
Yeah.
Because they don't fit him.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Dude, but I need it. My teeth are fucked.
Or you'll break that. That's why.
You got to remove that teeth first. Like, they do,
dude.
the whole thing.
I need to
Like,
push it back in.
Jesus.
Jesus, mother-loving Christ.
All right.
I got to fix my hair.
And, all right, we'll keep all this in.
Do grudge hair.
The grudge?
Do the grudge hair the entire podcast.
What's the grudge hair?
So you just have it all.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's terrible.
It just looks like hair.
He's just edgy the entire time.
He looks like a hentai guy protagonist.
No. He looks like what's the fuck cousin It or whatever, the little thing from the.
You got Weird Al
family?
here, dude.
Literally. Dude, you should be Weird Al for Halloween.
You really could be, dude. Like
Straight
you
up,
don't
you have
even
the
do
curls.
much. You
No.
know, dude.
Just shave the mustache accordingly. Shave the rest of the beard, so you just have the mustache.
Weird Al outfit. That's it.
Pencil mustache.
Yeah, and then you already have glasses.
The pencil mustache, yeah.
You already have glasses.
Yeah.
Put on a button-up shirt, and then.
Get an accordion. And
Yeah.
carry around an
I do
accordion.
have an
that's it.
accordion. I used to love playing
Bam.
the accordion when I was younger.
Weird Al.
Like, I don't know how to do it anymore, but when I was younger, I did know, like, how to do a couple of
And
the
then-
accordion notes.
And then you'll shave your head and you'll be Vsauce.
Vsauce.
What?
Oh, yeah.
No, you're Michael though. That's the whole
Vsauce.
point.
No, but that's the whole point. Like, you become Vsauce because you're not Michael.
Vsauce. Michael here.
Grow a beard. Grow a beard.
Orbs over.
Wait, who can grow up with a better beard?
I cannot grow a beard.
I
so-
can grow, like, a thick-ass
Walter
beard.
has to be Vsauce then.
Oh, yeah, Walter.
Walter can grow the best beard.
Walter grows...
The best beard. Are you gonna do that the whole time?
We'll call him Mini V.
Mini V.
Mini
V.
He
He'll
grows-
be Gary V. He'll be Gary V.
Gary V.
He's
I don't know
Gary.
who that is.
You know Gary V? Gary Vaynerchuk.
I
one
don't
of
listen to unknown...
He's a scammer. No, he's a scammer, straight up. He also kisses his dad in the mouth. Very much.
Dad in the mouth.
Oh, I
That's
will.
nasty.
I will 100% overlay this just to show you guys. But welcome back to Broke Till Friday podcast. If you're watching this,
Oh, I know that piece of shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on my League of Legends game, keep watching. Thanks. Don't
If you're
forget.
watching this on my Smite game, sorry, I sandbagged us.
Tell me this doesn't look like Walter.
That dude,
The hairline.
That looks like if
The
Walter did like 2
hairline.
years of cocaine. Honestly,
That guy's always talking about fucking.
You guys gotta direct quote from him. Every morning, wake up and just vividly imagine that your family got shot in the face.
Yeah.
He literally, this is
He
verbatim.
literally said that.
I'm
He
not
literally
joking.
said
I'm not
that.
joking. And
I
he's
remember.
like,
I think CoffeeZilla did a segment on him.
oh, he's a scammer basically.
Yeah.
He's like, I have the Gary V coin, and you gotta wake up and you gotta like wake up at 6 in the morning and make sure you don't touch yourself, and then you go take a cold shower, and then you run 30 miles. After those 30 miles are done, you go home and you start eating right. When you eat clean, you gotta make sure you don't buy from any of the poor people. Don't go to Trader Joe's. You gotta go to your closest farmer's market. You gotta support local, and then you gotta make sure that you're buying $30 steaks. And then like that is the kind of, he has that sort of manic kind of energy, like kind of like Ben Shapiro.
He's also like an anti-coomer. Like
I think so.
He's like, oh yeah, you should men should
Never
always
touch
save
yourself.
their nut.
He has the answers to
Yeah.
life. He has what
Men should never nut ever, and you
He's-
should never watch porn.
To an extent, I believe that a little bit.
Well,
bit.
'cause remember-
A little bit. Because think about it, dude. Think
If-
about it from this perspective. Back then, don't you think like before like big vices and even like not even just vices but like outlets like TV shows and things like that men are right now occupied with doing and stuff like that. Wouldn't you think that they go and they do like their regular day business stuff like like let's say they're an old farmer from way back then.
Well,
I'm gonna save my boner energy to
No.
do my stuff.
They're
No.
just more sexually repressed.
yeah, because that's
Yeah.
what happened when the Protestants came over. Because the Protestants were so much more. That's why they were protesting the church, because they thought the church was too lax in
Yeah,
Great Britain
yeah.
in the 1600s, and then they came over here and started burning people alive.
They didn't necessarily want religious freedom. They wanted the religious freedom to suppress others.
Exactly.
That's what happened. But
Yeah.
like, look, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I always come back to. It's not a coincidence that a large, or I want to say, almost all anti-coomers are also like closeted Nazis. Like one of like the biggest like professor proponents of anti-coomerism. Like basically just came out as like a neo-Nazi. Like in his text, he was basically like, yeah, the reason why porn is so prevalent is because the Jews are taking over. Like.
yeah.
He, like unironically like just came out as not as like a hardcore Nazi. Like
Yeah, because like kind of like you said though, with vices, with any kind of vice, if you're like addicted to it or if it's a problem to the point that it's interfering with your everyday life, of course you want to give it up. Not just porn, if it's like television shows, or if you're like, yeah, exactly, yeah, because there's sometimes I read online where people go like, oh, all my boyfriend does is like jerk off, and we don't even get to do stuff, and it's like that destroys a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like, not I mean, obviously not all he does, but you get me.
He jerks off so much.
Instead of like doing it with his girlfriend, he would
Yeah.
rather
Jerking
jerk
off.
off. Exactly, yeah.
dude.
So
That's sad.
interfering in the relationship, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with anything else. My boyfriend plays too many video games that he's ignoring me, or my boyfriend is going out drinking too much, he ignores me.
Yeah. But then
he
the problem
he
isn't,
gambles too much.
Yeah, but then the problem
It's in the
isn't
excess.
Cooming. It's the
excess.
addiction.
Yes, exactly.
It's the addiction.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
that was my point.
And
Because
these
anytime
people aren't against addiction per se. They're
Yeah.
specifically anti-coomers.
Yeah.
And like all pornography is bad all the time.
Yeah.
And how do you call it?
so Gary Vee.
Pornography is bad.
No. I love
Do you think
pornography.
I personally think, like, think about it from the perspective
remember
of,
this.
of a child.
It is very damaging to young children.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's
because-
different, though.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that's different.
It's not pornography that's bad.
It's an unfiltered internet access to a child should not be allowed, straight up, because you're not just thinking porn, you're thinking people dying, people, like.
I mean, just
yeah,
remember some of the shit that we found online when we were like fucking what, like 12, 13, fucking two girls, one cup and shit.
That's
I
the
never
thing.
saw
Like
that.
back then, everything was accessible. You can just watch
Yeah.
anything. Right now, they regulate stuff like that. Like you can't really see. You have to go to specific gore things, websites,
Yeah.
and things like that.
Not
or
not really.
forums.
It's still shit will appear on the front page of Reddit because it'll be on like a popular subreddit, but then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that guy actually died," and you're like, "Wait, I just saw someone die. I thought it was just like a funny got hit in the head or something, But point is, you also have to put on parental controls, like, and not everyone knows how to do that.
Basically, fucking parent.
Yeah,
Parent
exactly.
Your child.
You can't raise your kid as a tablet kid. If your
Yeah.
little kid's being a little shit and you're like, oh, fine, here's my fucking phone. No, that's not the way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, as someone who has no kids, I will tell you, you're being a bad parent if you're giving your kid a fucking tablet.
Look,
Because I get it.
This is my only kid right here.
Yeah, like, I get it. Sometimes you want to take a rest. And sure, an hour a day, if you're like, oh, fuck, we're like tired, we're going to go home. Here, an hour a day, here's your tablet. YouTube Kids, they've got all the restrictions on. They can't just start looking at weird Elsa stuff like that. The whole Elsa gate that happened.
Yeah, Elsa Gate. That shit was fucking weird. Elsa gets pregnant by like Spider-Man and Joker.
Bunch of
that
weird
shit was
stuff.
weird as
Because
fuck.
they're just abusing
It's
the algorithm.
grown adults too.
Yeah,
like,
but because
what?
they're abusing the algorithm, because they'll know kids will click on it, and it's nothing technically explicit, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But point is, Gary Vee is a con artist. He's one of those guys. It's like, oh, you gotta be on that grind every day. If you're not
Sigma
working,
Grindset.
yeah, Sigma Grindset. If you're not working 80-hour weeks, you're a piece of shit. Like he's like that kind of dumbass.
I will say though, I love like ironically using like the Sigma Grindset to
Yeah.
like refer to things that aren't Sigma Grindset.
Yeah, when you're like, oh, this morning I took a piss and I still had a morning boner. I still had morning wood. I worked through it with my Sigma Grindset. Like
Exactly.
things like
Yeah.
that.
Shit like that.
Yeah,
It's
of
so
course.
hilarious.
Anything
It's
is
like
a meme.
that, the Chad response. Yes.
Exactly. So, but yeah. So he'll be like, oh, I worked really hard to get where I am. Okay, I turned $1 million business into a multi-million-dollar business, and blah blah blah, and like things like that, right? And I mean, of course,
Sponsor money.
he turned a multi-million-dollar business that already existed, his dad's wine company, into just a bigger business because he saw like the .com thing happening, right? When that was all expanding, so he moved online, et cetera, which a bunch of people were doing at the same time. Of course, it's not like he was taking a risk, but he tries to be like, I came from nothing. He didn't come from nothing. He went to a privilege. He was literally privileged his entire life. He had money his entire life. It's kind of like that whole like Jeff Bezos. How they're like, oh, he started it in his garage. It's like, yeah, with a loan of like couple $100,000 loan from his
Yeah.
parents, who, if it failed, could have also just bankrolled something else. He could have done fallen back on the company. On like his dad was like a fucking bank owner. All this kind of stuff, right? He will then perpetuate and say, I work hard. Why am I so successful? Because I wake up every morning. If you come and watch my seminars, which are only $500 a ticket, and you got to pay an individual ticket for each seminar, like he's that kind of fast talking, just con artist, straight up con artist, because he made some, he makes his garbage NFTs, which as we know, NFTs are also a scam, super harmful to the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just draw just garbage and then be like, look at that. You can buy that for only $300,000 and you can show other people how successful you are. But they have no resale value because it's a garbage Gary Vee NFT. And he also opened a restaurant for people who own NFTs. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, you have to
trying
prove
to give the NFT like
legitimacy.
Some sort of intrinsic. Like they recently had the NFT con.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? Where like they hired like Snoop Dogg and like other people to like perform there, and some of the lower rung NFTs couldn't actually get fucking performer there, so they hired Dog Snoop or some shit. It was basically like a Snoop Dogg impersonator.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, and he basically
And this is when like fucking like almost all of the billion-dollar cryptocurrency companies are like fucking declaring bankruptcy. Like I think in the last like week or two, like 3 of the billion-dollar cryptocurrency companies like fucking were like, yeah, sorry, you can't withdraw your funds. You never actually owned the cryptocurrency, so
yeah.
you know,
rug pulls basically.
Goodbye.
That's what he would do as well. He did rug pulls.
Yeah.
And he would be like, "Oh, you know, everybody come and invest in my company. It's a Gary Vee backed and it makes it look legitimate, but he's the whale that's holding the majority amount of coins. So if he has like let's say $1 billion of a shit coin that's worth 1 cent and then it goes up to 10 cents,
cents,
yeah, no, anything, 10 cents,
yeah.
he just made 10 times the amount of money. He pulls the rug, now it's worth fucking 0.001. He's an influencer con artist, which you see with like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, you know, stuff like that, where they go, "I have my own
Logan
shit
Paul's
coins."
like under like a lawsuit right now, and he made another rug pull NFT about like his previous shit rug pull. Like his current NFT rug pull is about how he rug pulled before.
That's how it is. So this is Gary Vee kissing his papa, right? Oh wait, oops.
Kiss him in
Sure.
the mouth.
Yeah, like look, right? I don't know if that's how it is in the old country, but yeah, that's how it is. I mean, you know, that's how it is in the old country. I don't know. And someone wanted to turn that into an NFT, and he didn't let them. So that would have been a good NFT. Would have been a good
Fucking
NFT.
do it anyways.
Yeah,
That
honestly.
Sigma Grindset. Do it anyways.
Sigma Grindset turned the kiss into an NFT anyways, against his wishes. Yeah. But as I was saying, he's just a con artist.
Yeah. He also had his own like fucking.
Walter's gonna look like him.
What's it called? Fucking class thing or like lecture seminar.
That's what con artists
Yeah.
do. They'll also like pyramid scheme people will also be like, join my seminars and you can learn how to be
if it
successful.
ends in a 7, it's a con.
Yeah.
That's like the general rule of thumb.
Straight up.
If it's discounted and it ends in a 7, con.
Yeah.
Instant con.
Like it's the dumbest shit ever. Honestly, every single time it's like pyramid
And no
schemes.
one's immune. I almost fell for one.
Oh, dude. I mean, when I was first looking for a job, me too, because I was like, whoa, I have to sell knives. Cutco, the pyramid scheme,
you
right?
almost got the Cutco?
Almost.
Oh.
But then I read it and then I was reading more and I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
I was like, what's a pyramid scheme? And that's how I saw most like the Amway, fucking what's the Herbalife ones and all that stuff.
Yeah, all that bullshit.
There's a lot of schemes. So
Yeah, there's
people,
a lot.
if you have to buy the product to then sell it, you are not an owner. You are not a business owner. You're a customer. Yeah, like
Fucking,
this is a pyramid scheme. These are the levels.
Like the entrepreneur shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's this YouTube channel.
Entrepreneur, that's a good one.
That's what they call it. It's like a whole segment on this dude's channel.
Entrepreneur. Okay, we'll look it up.
Gary Vee. Where's the fucking? Let me find it. You talk while I. Oh, here we go. Mike Winnett. He does the whole series of like entrepreneurs and like he goes into all the big ones. That's where I got Gary Vee from.
Yeah.
And then like the most recent one he did is Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate is such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's that guy that's always being like, women have no intrinsic value. Women have no intrinsic value. If you're a man and you go out there, you go drink your bubble water, and you got to make sure that you don't drink regular pussy water, okay? They give you bubble water. If someone tells me I don't drink bubble water, I don't fucking talk to them because they're fucking pussies, okay? Like, he is actually unironically, like, a woman hater, like straight up.
Straight up.
He also literally, according to a subpoena and according to an ongoing lawsuit, allegedly trafficked an American woman in Romania.
Yeah.
And this is an actual fact. This next part is a fact. He bragged on stream on one of his social media accounts how he went to Romania because of how lax their human trafficking laws are. Literally, he had taken away an American citizen's passport when they were with him in Romania. He's a bald guy with glasses, with like fucked up teeth, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I was an MMA fighter, so I know all about it and stuff like that." Andrew Tate.
motherfucker.
You ever seen him? Oh, he's another one of those like fast talking, just dumb shit.
Yeah.
And
all of them are fast talkers because
Yeah.
they're like Ben Shapiro. They don't have any actual like points or like
Yeah.
any credibility, so they just have to talk fast.
They
in order
throw
to-
as many points
Yeah.
at you as possible to try to get you to disprove them all. And then when you don't, let's say they throw out 20 things, you disprove 2 of them. They go, "What about the other 18 things I threw at you?" And it's like, well, that would take another whole discussion. But
Yeah.
it's
To-
not
to
it's not a
disprove
good
one
faith.
point. To disprove one point,
Yeah.
you need an hour worth of like no,
Yeah.
there's this and this and this. Is
And
why
then they
it's wrong.
go,
and then.
Well, what about that?
Yeah.
I mentioned that. You didn't touch on that, and it's like,
Yeah.
you're these are in bad faith arguments, right?
Yeah.
But point is, he has a podcast, and then there's another podcast called the Fresh and Fit podcast, which is also run by basically woman haters. Fuck, what are they called?
Yeah.
The two guys.
Yeah. Fucking.
They gave alcohol. Oops.
Dude, but they're like a whole other thing. Like they're a part of a whole other subset of scams, which is like what's it fucking called? They're game people. What's it called? Like when
Gamblers? YouTube
no,
gamblers?
when they try to teach people teach guys how to
Con
hit on
art.
women.
It's fuck! I know what you're talking about. Fuck! I forgot it too. But yeah, they're con artists. They're
they're like
pickup artists.
Pickup artists. Yeah. They're specific con
Pickup
artists that deal with,
bros.
like, pickup bros.
They're like, we'll tell you how to get we'll give you the 5 secrets to get women you aren't getting. Number 1, have $1 million. Number 2, have a 12-inch penis. Number 3, you know what? Add another $1 million. Number 4, have a Jaguar. Number 5, you guessed it, another $1 million.
And fucking Andrew Tate is also one of those because like he advises people on how to get women, and he's like, all you have to do is choke slam them when you first meet them. He's like, what?
Not literally that, but what he verbatim said was, if I have someone bragging to me about how they cook their own food, I know they're poor. Cooking is for poor people. Cooking is for poor people. No rich person goes out there and cooks. I'm rich, so I have my cooks make stuff. Or I go out and I get myself a good steak, and then I cook it. I get myself a good steak, and then I have someone else cook it for me. Okay? Because I don't cook. Cooking is for poor people. It's like, this guy's a fucking idiot. And another one of my favorite fucking quotes from this dumbass is when he's like, oh, you know how I know cooking's for poor people? Because all poor people do is go to Costco, they get their $5 rotisserie chicken, and they just eat that the whole week. That's what poor people do. And it's like, this man is delusional.
Literally delusional.
Because not only does he not understand the concept of like poor people having, less time to do things, which is why they don't cook as much, which is why they eat out more, statistically speaking, because they see it as like, well, I'm saving, fucking $5 for a combo or $7 whatever a day. And they don't have the time to meal prep like rich people would do. And rich people start cooking as a hobby because they have so much time. Right? And he's like,
I cook.
I mean, because you're rich, Edward. Exactly.
Edward's rich.
Edward's rich. Everybody heard it. His address is 123 Fake Street, Springfield, State Undefined.
Rich Boulevard.
I low-key haven't even had time to like cook like huevos con chorizo recently. Like I've literally been eating out so much just because like
Yeah, you gotta cut down on that, man. Like me
today
gotta cut down.
I legit like when you saw me like fucking like gobbling eating a fucking burger.
Housing
that was
a
literally
burger
the first thing I've eaten today.
over a sink.
Literally, that's like fucking like I had like the fucking juice. I couldn't finish cooking it properly.
Yeah.
So like I just the juice is dripping off.
Medium rare. That's how it is
Medium
always.
rare. Like legit, I did not have time. I got up at like, I went to sleep at like 5 a.m. I got up at 9. Like I've just been go.
Yeah, it's that Sigma Grindset, man.
Sigma Grindset.
Sigma Grindset minus the women hating. But my point about Fresh and Fit, right?
Oh no,
Fresh and
but
Fit.
Andrew Tate really did say something about like how if a woman's talking to you, like
Oh,
choke
he'll
her
fight
and
them,
then
yeah.
fucking, yeah.
He's a dumbass.
backslam her. Yeah, it's so bad. It's so
He's
bad.
like, I can talk to women the way I want. They're not gonna fucking fight me. I'll fight anyone right now. I'll treat you with equality, bitch. And it's like, yeah, it's funny to hear it, but like he unironically thinks like that. Like he came on a podcast on Your Mom's House podcast with 2 comedians, and they were like humoring him about the women stuff, but like it's not a character that he's playing. He
it's not.
unironically thinks these
Yeah.
things. And when he went on the Fresh and Fit podcast, the Fresh and Fit podcast is a whole nother, it's a whole nother problem by itself. But Fresh and Fit, they basically had underage girls and were giving them alcohol and stuff like that, taking advantage of them, like giving them alcohol till
They're
they
legit
passed out.
pedos.
Yeah, I mean straight up. I mean allegedly, but like straight up.
Speaking about pedos,
they've
did
done a
you
lot-
hear about the police
Like that.
officers in New Mexico that burned a child alive?
That was fucked up. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So police brutality at the end. So, yeah, Fresh and Fit have gotten such a huge viewership from incels because incels are going, yeah, it's women who are the problem. I'm not the problem.
Yeah.
And then there's another fucking right-wing scammer. I don't remember his name, but what he basically said was
dog.
he was in an interview and the lady goes, oh, so how come you haven't settled down yet? He's like, well, I don't know what it is, but it's, I haven't met the right girl, but, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not me, though. It's definitely not me. It has to be everyone else. Like, he unironically said,
Yeah.
it can't be me. It's everyone else who's wrong. Like,
Nothing's ever
what?
wrong with them. Like they never have a problem.
Yeah, like they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I keep smelling shit everywhere I walk. It's like, maybe you got shit in the bottom of your shoes. Like, nah, you guys are shitting in here. Like, that's...
There's shit in there. There's shit in the air. There's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
shitty around.
Y'all
Yeah,
don't
it's them.
shower. Y'all don't wipe your ass. It's
Yeah.
definitely not me.
Exactly. But yeah, Andrew Tate is literally a woman hater, misogynist, unironic misogynist, most likely, highly likely, he's a woman beater, and he's allegedly
definitely.
trafficked
I
people.
do not doubt the fact
He's hit a woman.
He's not hit a woman. I like if he can't, if like tomorrow a news article came out that said that like he kept a woman chained in his basement just so he could like beat her every other Tuesday. Like
Okay,
I wouldn't doubt it.
A little more on the schedule wise, but yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I just wouldn't doubt it. Like, I'm not saying he does that. I'm just saying like if a news article
wouldn't be
came out
surprised.
tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be
I would not be surprised.
This comes to no shock to me.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, yeah.
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 But
So remember, next time you see a woman, slap her. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the moral of the story.
the moral of the story is exactly you become that Sigma
No.
Grindset. But point is, that's why, and in conclusion, that's why Walter should dress up like Gary V.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw a picture of Walter and throw a picture of
And
Gary
also
V.
why you should carry a gun everywhere you go.
I don't know about that, but this isn't
Totally.
Texas.
I don't know. I've been on a big gun kick. I've been like,
You want to buy a bunch of guns now? Or?
yeah, like no, like legitimately, me and my dad have already gone gun shopping. Like we're,
Well, yeah, I mean-
we're
Did
like
you buy a gun?
we're going to, yeah.
Well, you need to put a gun
Legit,
permit
you were,
and stuff like
you
that.
were gun scrolling.
Gun scrolling, yeah.
Gun scrolling. Gun window shopping.
Because before we
window.
actually buy the gun, we want to get like a gun safe first. Like we don't
Well,
want to
yeah.
we don't want to just have
Have
the
it
gun
lying
here.
around,
Yeah.
and then a cat steps on it, and
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
We want to get like a safe for it first, but yeah.
I've seen too many accidents with kids and stuff and unlock guns. So yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, but as I was gonna say, cringy memories. What you got?
Cringy memories.
What you got, Michael? Let's start with Michael over here. Bike for short.
Bickle.
Bickle.
All right, Edward, go.
I can't think of anything right now.
The-
Okay,
The
we'll,
only- the
we'll,
only
we'll
thing-
unlock the core memories in you.
The only thing I can remember right now is one time me and Walter were like play fighting out in the middle of the street.
You guys kissed.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, you remember this?
I remember
And
this.
like I remember because Andres' reaction was so like
Ingrained in your memory.
ingrained in my memory. Like the look in like your face, like the utter horrific like scene. It looked like you just came out and like saw like a bunch of diarrhea spread all over the fucking sidewalk. Like me and Walter were like play fighting, and like I kind of half jokingly, half like actually tried to do like a roundhouse kick on Walter. And obviously I was fatter back then and like
Yeah.
like even more out of shape than I am now. And like I just fucking fumbled and like yeah.
I remember this.
Remember the kick, the roundhouse
the
kick?
roundhouse kick. I was like, ugh.
Okay.
Oh, that shit makes me cringe.
I remember when Andres tried to do parkour.
Oh,
Boy Scouts.
Oh, that was
I
a good
remember
one.
that.
That
I
was a
remember
good one. That was good.
I think it
cringe.
was me running up a tree first, and then Walter ran up.
Yeah,
the
because you
tree.
like kicked off it.
Yeah, and
Basically
then, like-
running
and
up the
then,
side.
like-
And I run. I was like slip and then just eat shit immediately.
You
It was
take a step and you slip up.
immediately. It just physics worked
ground.
against me,
Yeah.
and I died. Yeah,
Physics stopped working for half a second.
I was deceased. Yeah. All right. Well,
Wasted.
I know. I had my cringe stories written down, and I was trying to find the first one. But so, this is a story about an easy button, right? So it was
All
seventh
about
grade.
how
I don't remember how. I think I must have won it or something, but I got a gift card for Staples, right? It was a $5 Staples gift card. And then I was looking at the easy buttons. The easy buttons were like $7.99, right? Something like that. And so I would always see, I'm like, oh, cool. I just need a couple more bucks, right? And so just saving a little bit of like coins and stuff, loose change, things like that. Because Benny's house would always have just loose change sitting
Yeah.
there, and he wouldn't give a shit if I just started picking up change. So basically, I'm
Change.
like, honestly, I get enough money to buy the easy button. I go into the Staples. I have my gift card. I have my money. I pick up the little easy button and click it. It goes, that was easy. You know, it works. Everything's going good. Awesome. I go to the cashier. I buy it. Scans it. $7.99. Boom. Pay for it. Have some change left over. Go home. Everything's great, right? I'm like, wow, this thing is so funny. I am in 7th grade. I am 13 years old or 14 years old, right? This is the epitome of comedy to me. Just clicking it, easy button.
That was easy.
It's like, you know, poop or fart sounds nowadays,
Yeah.
you know? I hear a fart and I cannot stop cracking up. I go into like a pulmonary embolism. And I am a fucking genius. I am the best comedian of my fucking time in 7th grade, right? I'm delusional, is what I'm saying.
The next George Carlin.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, I'm so fucking funny. I'm delusional. I don't know shit. In math class, 3rd period, I forget his name, but the teacher, he announces there's gonna be a test on Friday. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking over the stuff on the test, and I'm like, oh my god, like I know all of this. Like I understand math. I
understand 7th grade math.
Exactly. This is still at the point where I understood math. You know, put me in calc or pre-calc, I didn't understand shit. I don't know how I scraped by, and I'm like, I understand this stuff. This is gonna be such an easy test. Fucking light bulb goes off in my head. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish this test in like 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna whip out the button. I'm gonna click that was easy. Everyone's gonna fucking laugh. Everyone's gonna be cracking up. This is genius, right?
I already feel it.
It's 6 a.m. It's 6 a.m. I have the easy button in my sweater. I am
6 a.m.?
going, well, because that's when I'm going to go to school, remember?
Yeah.
We get in the bus. I'm there. I'm like all excited. I'm like, yeah, it's Friday. I'm going to take a test. It's going to be so easy. Everyone's going to be fucking cracking up. Everyone's going to be like, my God, he's so funny. And yeah, I'm going to get my dick sucked. And then I go into class. I'm sitting in the very front. Like in that class, we didn't really have assigned seats, you know, because like it's middle school. People just sat wherever. And then you would just have to sit one seat apart from someone else for tests, you know? So they do that where it's like person, no, right? Like social distancing before it was cool. And then I'm sitting in the very front of the class. I choose this seat because this 7th grade math teacher can look right at me. He can look me right in the fucking eyes when I look up, and I smile and I click the button, right? So I sit there. I'm like doing the test. I'm like, wow, that was so fucking easy. It's sitting in my pocket, right? It's a little bulky because I'm 14. I'm still young, you know, and wait, was it 14? No, I was 13. Yeah, I'm 13, and I'm in 7th grade. And I have a baggy sweater.
13.
Yeah, I think it tracks, yeah. Because when you're 10, you're in 5th grade, 11, 6th grade, 12, 7th grade. Oh, then I was 12. I was 12.
12 in 6th grade, right?
No, 12 and 7th grade. 12 and 7th grade. Yes, I promise you. So, I'm 12 years old. I was not 14, because I remember I was 14 when I was in 9th grade. That's why. If I was 14 in 9th grade, then that must mean I was 12 in 7th grade. Has to be.
When I was in 6th
Point
grade,
is, I can't hear you.
when I was in 6th grade, I was dating a 13-year-old, and I was 11.
That
12,
tracks.
I think, or 12. I don't know. So I
We'll
think
get to that abuse later.
I think it is 6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12.
12, yeah.
You're 12. Yeah.
No. 6th grade, you're 11. 6th grade, you're 11.
12.
I
11.
promise you, dude.
11.
11, yeah. 7th grade is 12. I was in 7th grade.
12 or 13.
12 or 13, yeah. Because I was on the younger side, so I was 12. And I go into class. I'm taking the test. I have this bulky button because you know how the desks are, right? They're sitting up all the way to the front. And the sweater's a little big for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's just like passed down or whatever. But the pockets are kind of small. So the easy button's just kind of sitting there. And I'm like, I finished the test. And I scoot to get up, but I get...
6th grade, you should be about 12 years old.
Told you, 12 or 13. I'm 12, right? I take the test. I take the test and I finish the test. And
On
because...
some sort of list now.
honestly. And well, no, because you check to see what time you are. You're not Googling like cheese pizza. Point is, I'm sitting at the desk. I finish the test. The desk is kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I'm getting up, I bump into it and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I scoot out. The easy button falls out of my pocket, makes a loud fucking on the floor, and it's dead quiet because everyone's taking the test. Everyone looks at me and it goes, that was easy. Silence. Fucking silence. And this douchebag, one seat away, goes, did you really bring that? And I go, and I wanted to kill myself right then and
I
there.
want to kill myself now.
Oh, it was so fucking bad. And I just turned in my thing with shame and I just sat down and I was like, pick up my button and just like sit there. But fuck,
You still
man.
have that, don't you?
I saw the easy
Yeah, you
button.
still
I
have
replaced the batteries on it, but
Yeah.
but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I was fucking delusional. I was like, this is gonna be so fucking funny. Nobody thought it was funny. And then the guy on top of that went, did you really bring that? Like he was like disgusted by the fact that I would bring props to a fucking math test. And I was like,
That's like the equivalent of like
fuck.
writing a whole story like based on like your like middle school like daydream of like a school shooter entering and
Yeah.
like you tackling the
yeah, it's like I tackled him and I took him down and I was the most heroic person. Everyone's just watching you like, why is he writing about a school shooting? Did you really write that? Like, you know, like
there's a
Fuck.
fucking I saw this video on by Jenny Nicholson that like some like fucking 40-year-old actually like wrote a book on
fan
like
fiction?
that. Yeah, not just a fan fiction. It's like he wrote it where like he was like this like Western cowboy and like
Oh.
fucking ninjas came out of nowhere, and like the girl was like super into him, and not like his cucked like liberal fucking boyfriend or whatever the fuck. It's so I couldn't finish the video because like she was reading it, right?
Yeah,
and it's
bad.
so cringe.
Oh,
it's
probably
so
bad.
cringe.
Yeah.
That's
I can
basically
imagine.
like the equivalent of that.
Oh.
That's like the equivalent of that.
Oh,
But at least yours happened like 13, not when you were like fucking 40.
And I didn't publish it for everyone to see.
yeah.
Well, right now, but that's fine.
Let me see if I can find the what's the name of the book.
We'll
'Cause,
find
like
it.
that shit's so fucking cringe.
And I just unlocked another core memory. When I was in 4th grade, I'm a fucking comedian. I am coming up. I am doing everything possible, right? Again, I'm delusional. And in 4th grade, we're all sitting at we're sitting in it's the end of class, right? It's almost 3:00, like the bell's gonna ring, and we're like writing something down, and then the bell rings, and I just for no, I don't even know why I said this. I don't know if it was the autism or what it was, but I wasn't even trying to be funny. I just go like, I hear it, bing, and I'm like, let's bust this taco stand, and everyone in class starts cracking up. Everyone in class, and I'm like, holy shit, like whoa, well that's fucking funny, right? Like wow, I was like, like everyone legit cracked up. Like that time I wasn't delusional, but I wasn't trying to be funny either, which is probably the best thing you can do, right? You're not trying to be funny. Everyone cracks up. Okay, it's unexpected. So what do? I think to myself, I'm gonna write an even better joke for tomorrow. And instead of writing a different joke or something I could say that was like witty or something, you know what I did? I just thought of different variations of the same joke. Like I said,
Yeah.
Let's blow
Let's-
this burger stand.
oh, I said that unironically. I said that. I swear to God. I started writing. I remember writing these down. I said, let's bust this taco stand. And I was like, let's blow this burger joint. And then I was like, something about burrito or something, right?
Burger joint's gonna blow you.
But I remember the let's blow this burger joint because the next day I'm like, oh, here it comes. The bell rings and I go, let's blow this burger joint. Fucking
Dead
silence. And then one kid goes, didn't you say that yesterday?
Oh, it's called Trigger Warning.
Trigger warning?
That's the name of the book.
Terrible.
It's horrible.
All
Watch, just don't even read it. Just watch Jenny Nicholson's video.
Yeah,
on it.
let's
It's
watch
so much
her
better.
video instead. So
Yeah,
don't give the other guy the sales of the views.
yeah,
but,
exactly.
But yeah, didn't you say that yesterday? And I'm like, ugh, I just start sweat dripping down, and I'm like, sat down in shame. Didn't say shit for the rest of the semester.
Honestly,
The rest
at
of
that
the year.
point, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I was up here, and when you're up here, there's nowhere to go but down. And then I hit rock bottom pretty much immediately. So I was like, okay, never again. Threw that page away.
Oh man.
Can't hear you.
Michael's like, I've never done anything cringe in my life.
I
I
don't
don't-
think I have because I'm a fucking shameless bastard. I haven't had embarrassing moments.
Like what?
That's cringe.
Yeah, that's cringe. That's what it is.
'Cause it's-
Secondhand embarrassment.
It's embarrassment. Like it's the situation is embarrassing, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily like that's just, no, I don't know.
Go tell
Maybe
us.
it is.
What? We'll judge it.
I
Let's
was
go.
in 7th grade,
7th
We
grade.
gotta get scorecards.
Yeah.
and from like 6th grade to like 8th grade, I was a whore. Like just
Yeah.
a fucking slut. Like
Because you watched porn as a kid,
I
didn't you?
watched porn as a child.
Jesus.
I used to
Jesus
watch
Christ,
porn in
you come
4th
too much.
grade.
4th
Yeah.
Christ.
And anyways,
Christ, what's
so were a lot of kids in this public school I went to. Almost all kids were like that. They were all
Public school,
fucking
shit
crazy little
school.
crackheads, dude.
Yeah.
They were doing drugs. That's why I tried weed for the first time.
Jesus.
And 7th grade. But anyways,
Yeah,
going off
7th grade.
track.
First time I had weed.
Then?
I was a whore, and I would.
Guys,
Back then, I
STDs.
had my first phone. I had a little flip phone back then.
Oh yeah.
And I would exchange phone numbers with people back then because it was like texting. It was only texting and calling, back then.
Or like calling on the weekends or whatnot.
And you
Yeah.
sent
People would
nudes.
actually call like or like over the phone, be like, "Hey, what you doing? What's good?" And
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
conversation. I don't know if
Because
you
there
guys
wasn't as much
Yeah.
instant messaging.
There was no. I didn't have a smartphone yet, and I don't
Yeah.
think smartphones were like a big thing yet.
No.
And
Were they
anyways,
even real yet?
the
Yeah.
point I'm getting to is,
Yeah.
I would have sexting with other people at school, right? And it would also be phone sex. Just
Like
straight
you
up.
would be like,
yeah,
bruh.
and I would say things, and they would say things back. And there was this
pretty bad.
week for like a whole like 2 weeks. I did some bullshit at school. I forget what I did, and I had my phone taken away. I didn't stop my horny ass, dude.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say your mom saw the text message or something.
No,
No.
no, my mom knew. I mean, my mom like
Your mom
knew what kind of like scoundrel I was from a very early-
Scoundrel? That's not a scoundrel, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember because you said you asserted dominance, right, by jacking it. Tell the
Even
story.
if
Tell
they
that story.
Even if you walk in, I would just continue to do it because it's like, why the fuck you walking into my room, dude? I'm having my private business right now.
My private business. I'm doing taxes, man. You can't watch me.
I'm doing taxes.
They didn't come in anymore after that. But yeah,
I mean,
that
it
didn't
worked.
stop me from
Yeah.
doing this stuff. So
So what'd you do?
I was still talking to these group of people at
On the
time.
home phone.
And there was this girl that I talked to around that time when my phone was taken away. I told her I would call her either way tonight, and I used the home phone.
Oh, and then someone else picked up the phone.
The thing is my home phone is the home phone where it's one home phone and it's also another phone connected to the home
Yeah.
hear the same-
Yeah.
yeah.
phone. So there was one phone in my parents' room, and I was using the other home phone that was in the main living room,
Uh huh.
and I was pretty into it, and I was telling details and everything, and like saying crazy shit, it's whatever you can possibly imagine. That's what I
Oh
was saying.
god. And especially as a little kid, you're disgusting
Yeah,
too. So
and
even
the
worse.
girl was doing things back, and then out of nowhere, you can hear when someone picks up the second phone. You can hear when someone picks
Yeah,
up the second
the
phone.
click.
And then you hear like the background noise of like whatever it is, and then I hear it, and I'm like, man, fuck this. I don't give a fuck. And I continue to go because I'm pretty sure the other person doesn't know either. And then and in my head, I thought they're gonna hear this.
Then they're gonna hang up.
And they're gonna hang up. And then I do it, and then like, Michael, vete dormir. And the girl was like doing something, and at the time when that was
She
happening,
was about to climax,
Yeah,
and then she
oh
got
god,
it
that's bad.
yanked away.
and then the next day at school, it was talked about. But like, I'm shameless, so I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like that.
I can imagine
My
that.
mom was, she heard us doing that shit.
I'm a baller, bitch.
Even though on deep inside, I was like, that's pretty embarrassing.
Ah.
But at
That's pretty cringe.
At a certain point in my life,
so
I just
good.
became like, I'm not gonna be.
You were past
I'm
it.
not gonna be embarrassed of
You're
bullshit.
not gonna dwell on that.
Yeah.
Dwell on embarrassment.
Yeah, man. You shoot
Who's
a couple
embarrassment?
hobos. I sleep well at night. I sleep perfectly fine. We thought of this perfect plan, by the way, to stop gentrification or to keep property taxes low in Compton, right? Here's what you do. You hire crackheads by promising them crack, right? And you tell them, hey, I'm going to give you this crack. You're going to go and stand outside of these nice little homes that they are and just be a crackhead, okay? Go crazy. Go stupid, right? But you got to make sure you take the crack in front of me so you're hyped up and ready to go, right? What they don't know is the crack is also mixed with Viagra and also laced with fentanyl. So that means they're going to get all crazy, run over,
Tweaking.
start jacking it and being like, and then they're just going to die on the doorstep.
So
Whoever's-
all these new residents in these gentrified areas are gonna wake up to like just crackheads dead on their porch.
Oh, no. They're going to wake up to the sound of them screaming. They're going to hear a loud thump when they collapse. And then they're just going to see like the jizz on their fucking belly buttons. And then they're dead. And they'll be like, ah! Like,
That's how you do it. That's how you get rid of gentrification.
Exactly.
You just do that.
Cosplaying a glazed donut.
yeah, they're going to cosplay a glazed donut. And they're going to die. And they're like, honey, that's the third crackhead today. I think we should probably think of selling. Property taxes are going to
Little
drop.
Billy saw it.
But here's the thing. There's a limited amount of crackheads, right? Because eventually they're going to all die.
There's a lot of crackheads, dude.
No, bro.
There's a lot of
I'm saying
crackheads.
in like
Create
three
more.
in 3 or 4 years, right? After you thin the herd, then you buy up the
There's new generations of crackheads too. There's like young youth that are now crackheads.
Young youth.
dude at the place I work. There's caravans people, and there's kids in some of the RVs. It's so sad, dude. But like the some of the office people were telling me like they see the kids getting dressed for like school and stuff, and it's like fuck, like these people
Go
are
to school
homeless.
high off your ass.
Living in an RV,
One time
like-
I saw this person that I met at a show, and it was this female that I met at a show way back before when I was single and stuff, and I met her and we were hanging out that day, and then I never heard of her from ever again.
Yeah.
And then probably like 2 years ago, I came across her at a 7-Eleven, but she was like
Crackhead gone.
like not here, like a vegetable mentally gone. Like she's trying to like pay for a Slurpee, she's paying with like pennies and like nickels.
Jesus.
Like,
Can't hear you.
and I'm just like, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for her thing, whatever.
Oh.
And she kind of like not even acknowledged
Didn't
anything. She's
recognize
not
you.
there. She's just like she walks out and that's it. And I'm just like,
Fuck.
that's life. That's what, dude. Like
Dude,
out
that's
of all,
honestly
out
one
of
of my
all,
biggest
out of
fears, I'll
all,
end
out
up
of
like
all
that.
drugs,
Meth is the worst.
even fentanyl, cocaine, crack cocaine is the most brain damaging to any drug. Like even a little
Yeah.
bit of amounts can permanently damage forever.
I mean, have you guys seen Wendy Williams nowadays? Wendy Williams went completely batshit insane. She had a huge coke addiction. We'll get to Wendy Williams in a second. Let me finish the other part actually, because I had one more cringe story, right? So, but yeah, that's how you lower property taxes in Compton. Okay,
I'll just take my gun and shoot it in the air for a bit.
I don't know about that. Oh yeah.
That doesn't scare people.
Oh, I had another one. Okay, so when I first got the dual discs, I got them from thrift.
I
thrift
remember
store.
this. I remember this.
I got them from a thrift store, right? You remember when we would play with the dual discs too, right? We were like, whoa, it's so cool. And they would like swing and stuff. And one of my friends at school had a dual disc that I traded him a Pokemon game that I had stolen from some other poor chump a few years ago. I gave him that game for the dual disc. But you know, in my head, I'm like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh was better than Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have like 2 or 3 dual discs at this point because I had bought some for like $10 at the thrift stores. Like,
Oh,
okay.
Go.
Take her. We're gonna pause for a second. Okay, so last cringe story that I had. Actually, just kidding. I still had one more after that. But dual disc, right? So I bought dual discs, etc., etc. We've been over this. Thrift stores, right?
And welcome back from commercials.
Honestly, welcome back from commercials. And I'm like, wow, I'm like about the same age, actually. Yeah, 12 or 13, like 12 through 14, around that age when I have them. And I'm like, I'm so fucking cool now that I own a dual disc. You know what would be a great idea? If I put on this dual disc and walk down the street with it. And I put on the dual disc and had a deck and walked down the street with it.
It's pretty cool though.
Edward, did you see me? Or
You had 2, and you gave me one, and we were there together.
no, because do you remember dueling the neighbor that all the way down there? Because that might have been a different day then.
That might have been a different day.
So, this day at least, right? I'm walking down the street, and I see one of the other kids. Like he's like fucking 8 or 9, like, and I knew he played Yu-Gi-Oh too because he was like, oh, I have these cards. These cards are so good, right? So I'm walking
Was it the
down.
kid that lived over there?
No, all the way down, Yeah. So, or wait, I don't know what direction we're pointing in.
That way.
Towards Gage. He lived towards Gage.
Oh, no.
Okay. He lived all the way down. And I saw him, and he had his cards, and I was like, hey, kid, want a duel? And I'm playing, right? Like I said, he's like 7 or 8, actually. He's probably like, he was like a fucking baby. Because he still talk like, you know how sometimes they talk like, they don't say their R's correctly, or like they slur, like they have that baby talk like the Mexicans do?
Boy.
A little bit, right? And he's like, I'm going to summon this. And I was like, oh, no.
I'm gonna go summon this one.
Exactly. And he didn't know the rules, so he's like, I'm gonna summon this. I'm like, oh no, you can't. He's like, yeah, but I want to. I'm like, no, you can't. Look, see? And then I was like, I activate this, blah, 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 and I was like kicking his ass. But he was like, no, that's not how you play. I'm like, yeah, that's the rules. Like, I'm explaining him the actual rules. He doesn't know shit, right? And I walk back home, right? Everything's nothing's too bad, right? Nothing's happened until I am 17, a senior in high school. And I'm walking down the street over there.
Mass 6 foot.
You know, remember the taquero that used to be there?
Oh, I love
Him,
that.
his daughter went to my school, right? And she was like 2 years under me.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got off the bus, we would since I live over here, I'd walk past his house, and he'd be standing there waiting for his daughter to come because his daughter would be like talking to her friends or whatever. Right? But I was just like, I got off the bus, go home, right? And so I walk past him, and I was like, oh, hola, ¿cómo está? Right? Because like, hey, how you been? Because he's a taquero, he's cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I've been good, blah, blah, blah. Like, 'cause it was like the beginning of my senior year. And that's when she was barely there.
Mm-hmm.
And the dad's out waiting for the kid, right? Because it's the beginning of the year. So he's like waiting for her to come by because I think it's like the first time they're walking or whatever, right? And I'm like, oh, how you been, blah, blah, blah. And all this kind of stuff. Like, oh, man, I miss those tacos, all that kind of stuff. And he's like, you know what I remember? That one time you walked down here and you had like this thing on your arm, that big thing. And I was like, oh, I just collapsed in on myself. And I was like, oh yeah.
That's
when
the
I was
singularity right then and there.
Yeah. And I was, when I was a kid, yeah. And he brought it up, right? And I never walked by his house again. I changed my fucking route just to not walk by his house so I would never have to fucking look at him again. I just walk from the back and then would like cut through the alley and then go home. And I was like, never again. Literally that one interaction. I was like, oh, it was bad.
Shit, you fucking unlocked the core memory. I fucking I remember in high school, I wanted to get fit, and I was really into like the animus.
Oh.
That like like those working out animus.
Yeah.
And I remember like strapping a fucking dumbbell to like my body hair, and I took a giant ass sweater so no one could see it. But I had like with just a piece of string, I had like a fucking dumbbell fucking strapped
Just
to my
hanging.
fucking chest, just hanging. And I would just keep it hidden. And I was just like walking through the school like, damn, this is kind of uncomfortable.
And you wore the fucking things on your legs
yeah,
too.
the fucking sand weights.
The
Yeah,
sand
the
weights.
sand
I remember
weights.
you were
Oh,
like,
dude.
I'm wearing sand weights, dude. I'm getting fit. He was like, he's gonna be like Goku, and then one day he's gonna take them off. They're gonna go, boom. And he's like, I'm strong
so
now.
cringe.
Oh.
Dude, I'm dying inside right now. That's so fucking
I thought of
cringe.
doing that. Like, what if I put a shitload of weights all over my body and then leave it like that for like a month or a year?
Unironically though, you would
It
get.
doesn't
you-
work.
No. You would get stronger if you're training. If it's everyday stuff, it's not gonna do anything for you.
No, it was not gonna do anything for you anyways. Kyle Hill did a whole like science thing on it about how it doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I would think adding extra weight to make you sweat more.
Doing
Huh?
hikes and like
No,
and
doesn't work.
doing
What?
Stuff like
It
that.
doesn't matter if you do a full workout with it. They don't work
Well,
the way
swimming?
you think you do. Yeah, they don't work the way you think you do. Kyle Hill did like a whole like sciencey thing on it, like a whole episode.
What? So, it says, well, running with weights may make you a stronger runner, meaning it'll improve your speed, endurance, and strengthen your joints. Yeah, I don't. Weight training or resistance training is a better method for building lean
Yeah.
mass. It says.
Yeah, wearing
so doing
weights
resistance.
don't actually do anything. Like, let me send you all the video. Kyle Hill did a whole thing on it, like with like the actual like Goku getup thing.
According to nutrition and fitness experts, runners should never use weights while running.
Yeah. They don't actually do anything.
That's hilarious. Well, I guess. I mean, obviously this isn't for like the little ladies that walk with their little thing and they're like going.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that's
fine.
for
That's a-
different because you're trying to maintain muscle mass. That's a,
No, that's what they were saying when you're
Oh,
running. But
yeah.
for them, since it's like a little lady with her little weights, that's adding more weight just to like keep her working out. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's not running. They said do not run with weights.
No, but that's why you're trying to keep your muscles from deteriorating. So they're just trying to use their muscles. It's basically like just
Oh,
you using
I get
like
you.
like a hand press.
Okay.
So
okay.
like essentially like they're
Where's
just trying
your-
to stop
yeah.
their bodies from decaying and atrophying.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that's-
after
it's a little
40,
different.
everything's down. After like 25, honest. No, after like 30, everything's just fucking downhill, man. It's tough.
Yeah, you see. Kyle did a whole
Real weighted clothes. Do Goku's weighted clothes work?
yeah.
So
And basically it was.
Let me
same
see what
thing where
what do
it's
the
like,
comments look like. Let's see what they say. Let's see.
no. That's a
Well,
weird-
also, you're supposed to start with the turtle shell. That's true. No, I'm kidding. No, the Goku outfit serves no practical purpose whatsoever for this test. Huge time jump. Yeah, that's true. He skipped to the halfway point of his own training in just a day when he said years to get muscles used to it, and then on top of that, okay. Well, I would think I don't know.
Yeah, but the end result was basically like at the end of the video he was just like yeah, no, it doesn't work. You see no significant benefit or anything.
I guess, but I feel like I'm like that guy. Huh.
And you can hurt yourself.
You have this emotion that unless you try it yourself, experience isn't valid.
Experience is not.
And this
I'll
is a
overlay
big
that.
problem in
Alright, well.
scientific
Yeah.
education.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll
Basically,
add-
it's like
I'll add
an
what he
emotional
says.
attachment to thinking that you'll
be
that it'll
strong.
help you.
Placebo
Yeah,
effect.
Yeah, placebo effect basically. But
Got
like
it.
you'll see no actual benefit to the thing.
If I give a crackhead fake crack, would they be able to tell, or would they think it's real crack? Oh my God! The dog just pissed all over the floor.
Water.
It pissed all over the table.
Okay, but
But yeah.
okay.
Weighted stuff
Now we
doesn't
know.
work. I was
Now we
cringe
know.
as fuck for wearing a dumbbell to school.
A loose dumbbell
loose
on a
dumbbell.
string.
Not even weighted stuff, just a loose
A
dumbbell.
loose dumbbell on a string, just sitting there. You're like, well, that's how it is.
Yep.
Huh. How about that? Did you ever take anything to school or anything like that, like a knife or stuff like that? I feel like you'd be the kind of person who took like a switchblade to school.
I've taken drugs to school.
Nah.
Yeah, but that's what we all do.
Like pills.
I found my mom's Tylenol, guys. You guys want to get fucking nutty? I can't feel my arms and legs.
They were what the fuck were they called?
Cocaine.
No, they were.
XL3.
LED.
Metamucil.
Not even LSD. LED. Just a pill
Light bulb.
It was
What was
it was a
Uppers,
painkiller.
downers.
I forget what they were called though.
Joiners.
Xanax.
Fucking. I know
Can't
people who've taken stuff.
Like a
Not
gun.
cringy stuff, but like crazy.
Oh.
This one time in my middle school, there's this area that we all go and hang out to when we get there.
Yeah.
Like in the morning and in lunch. It's where the big group would hang out. All the guys, I guess you could say.
The boys.
The boys.
Yeah.
And one time there was like the bottle of water that had yellow liquid in it.
Piss.
And I'm like, I was the only brave one. I was a brave boy. And I opened it up and I took a sniff. And I was like, this isn't pee. And everyone was
What?
like, ugh. So I'm doing like, oh, you're fucking gross. And it was, this isn't pee. This is that venado drink, that fucking liquor. And it was. It was straight up liquor. And it was like a water bottle, but there was this much full at the bottom.
Oh shit.
And I was like, who wants it? And there's this guy that he's like, oh, I'll take it off your hands. And he's like, fine, I'll take it off your hands, but let me take a swig. And I took a little swig, and it was straight up that drink.
Fuck.
And
Did you
I
throw
remember-
up or
I remember getting a little like
tipsy? Yeah, because you weighed like 10 pounds in middle school. You just drank half your body weight.
And I think the other guys took the rest of it for something else.
I mean, for drinking probably
drinking.
afterwards.
For drinking.
Yeah, I was just like.
That was
And
about
then
it.
Other guy, there was a guy that brought in beer and he disguised it with a Coca-Cola on the outside. Like he cut open a Coca-Cola and he put the outer
the
rims or whatever on
no,
top of the
sorry,
Bud
the
Light.
rim.
Yeah,
The
over
outer.
Bud Light.
I said ripped. Yeah.
That's so dumb. Why not just like fucking?
The label.
No, not even the label. Just fucking empty the alcohol. Just drink the
Into
soda.
the-
Empty the alcohol into the soda.
I don't know. The guy was. I don't know.
Because that way
That's-
you just move the label. You just go label, new cup,
Label.
new one, label, new one.
I
You
guess.
did
Keep
that.
using the same can.
No, but that's
Refill it.
gross. That's why. That's less gross to keep refilling the same can as it is to get label,
I guess
label,
if
label,
you do it
label,
every
label.
day.
Yeah. Oh, this guy had a label. He was definitely doing it every day. There's no one like having a liquor label to prove that you're an alcoholic.
One time I did something that was. I brought something that was.
Why are we talking about cringe shit, Loki?
Because that was the theme for today.
We were. I wanted to talk about Thor: Love and Thunder because I finally want to go see it.
I thought you guys talked about it last podcast.
No, we didn't.
Oh, well, Walter and I, we kind of gave him the rundown. What'd you guys think then? Hurry, real quick. We got like 5
Real quick.
seconds. 5, 4, 3,
I
2, 1.
loved
You loved it?
I loved it.
Was it better than Ragnarok?
No.
Okay, good.
It had like here's my issue. My biggest issue with it is that
Not enough gore.
not enough gore.
I have 3 main issues with it.
Okay,
Three.
wait, Edward, finish
Okay,
your
I
list.
I only have 2.
Okay.
So my main issue is that in the film, there's everything to make it better than Thor Ragnarok. Everything is present in that film. They just didn't take that final step into like making it better.
Like what?
Like some of the things that would have been easy would be like make Gore more of like the main protagonist rather than focusing on Thor. Make Gore more like Thanos, where like the main focus is Gore, because it is Gore's story. To be fair, it is Gore's story. It is the end of Thor's journey, but it is first and foremost Gore's movie. It's his motivation that kicks off the plot. It's his stuff that deals with everything. He's the protagonist, even if he's not quote unquote the hero, obviously. And the film proves it. The film itself proves it, because when Thor goes into like the opulent city or the omnipotent city, he gets proven wrong. They prove Gore correct in his assumption that all the gods should have died or should die. Like literally, Jane Foster and Thor are the only 2 good gods, basically, in the entire.
Well, the Asgardians, basically.
The
Because
Asgardians,
the Asgardians
basically.
are more involved than the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
ones.
yeah. And like all of them others. That's why I say like, because like remember when I said earlier that I wanted Gore to kill Zeus because I wanted them to make us hate Zeus. Like
They still made us hate Zeus.
They made us hate Zeus, which I loved. I loved that. Like that's why I'm like, it was so close to perfection.
Yeah.
But then they had to ruin it with that end credit scene where Zeus survives.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
But now you got Hercules, so.
Now I got Hercules, but the thing is, I already know Hercules isn't going to be a villain. He's going to be like a.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
5 minutes
Why
ago,
wouldn't
sorry.
he be?
Yeah.
If he's
It's going to be a misunderstanding, most
Yeah, it's
likely.
gonna be a misunderstanding because look, whether you're talking about the comics or you're talking about like mythology, Hercules
hero.
canonically hates Zeus and Hera, because Hera is the reason that like Hercules had to murder his family in mythos, and in Marvel, Herc is a hero. Herc is such a hero that he goes against Iron Man in Civil War. He like joins
But
Captain
you know,
America.
the MCU, they can just change up the whole story and make it their own fucking.
That too,
OC.
yeah.
Yeah, that too. But like, they're not gonna ruin like Hercules because they're trying to pass things off to the
So
new generation.
They did. What's his name? Korg.
Korg.
Korg
Yeah.
without really introducing symbiotes.
Oh no, you mean
Gore?
The
Korg.
Necrosword. Gore.
Yeah, Necrosword.
Oh, yeah.
Gore, not Korg.
Korg.
Gore.
Gore. I
Yeah.
get them names confused. Some very
Korg
similar.
and Gore.
I have the assumption though that they're just going to retcon it. So like the
Oh,
breaking...
it's always been the symbiote.
No,
but,
no. They're gonna retcon it so that breaking the sword is what released how do you call it? What's his face?
What's her face?
No, not what's her face. What's his face? It's Null.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna retcon it so that
Or what if
breaking
they-
the sword releases Null.
What if it just turns out at the end they're like, oh, that's just one of many Necro swords that Null makes, like the whole Darkhold thing. Remember?
Oh, maybe
They could do that too.
They could do
where
that
they're
too,
like,
because they did already introduce that other the Black Knight sword.
Yeah.
the Black Knight version of
That's
Excalibur.
the one thing
Yeah.
that I had the problem with. That.
Yeah.
The second problem is music. Like,
I didn't have a
it
problem
was too
with
much
the
Guns
music.
N' Roses. There's burnt out fucking music. It's. I don't like it. I don't like
Well,
it.
that was
Yeah.
the theme music of the song, though. Like that's the whole point.
Like Sweet Child of Mine.
No,
I really need to hear a Sweet Child of Mine.
I think that's just because you don't like the music
It's so fucking,
versus
it's an ugly song. dude.
versus like Led Zeppelin for the Thor 3. Thor Ragnarok had Led Zeppelin songs in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man had AC/DC and stuff like that.
They
I
too,
could do
think-
but-
Kiss. They could have done Kiss, and they could have played God of Thunder. They could have done that instead
Yeah,
of
they
fucking
could've.
Sweet
They
Child
could've. That
of
would have been
Mine.
so much better. That would've been
Because
so much
remember,
better.
Sweet Child of Mine, it's his fucking daughter at the end.
Yeah,
Duh.
that's why. Thor: Love and
Come
Thunder.
on, I'm an idiot.
Okay, here's the thing though.
That's not
Here's-
even his daughter though. Like
It is
It's-
his
it's
daughter,
daughter.
now. It's his effective
Yes.
daughter. He adopted
Yes.
her. It's his
Exactly.
daughter.
Exactly.
What
He's
is
gonna
she?
take
Is
her-
she like? Is she
She's
like a
Gore's
god or
daughter.
something? Because you saw like when she was alive, her shadow on the reflection. It was like
Yeah.
some universal.
She's born from the
Cosmic
physical
thing.
embodiment of the universe. Like
Yeah.
that's essentially what she
So
is.
is she gonna
She's
be like
Gore's
some?
daughter.
Is she gonna be like a S tier hero or something?
Yeah,
Maybe later.
effectively,
But she doesn't have powers right
now.
now.
She doesn't have powers, but once she grows up,
Or
they're probably gonna give her powers
that she can
and
control.
stuff.
Because remember, she
Yeah.
shot at Thor, and then he was like, "You ruined the pan."
God damn it. No, but how do you
Thor,
call it?
damn it.
I love the fact that he gave Stormbreaker to her because canonically Thor's daughter ends up wielding a battle axe.
Look at
and
that.
Thor usually doesn't.
Yeah.
It's always Thor's daughter that wields the battle axe.
Look at that.
Well, he wields Mjolnir. So I like that. I don't like that it's Gore's daughter. I don't like that that Gore reneged on his wish. I think instead of wishing
was-
for his daughter to come back to life, he should have wished for all other gods except Thor. Like Thor and Jane Foster's struggles should have
Yeah.
convinced them that they specifically were good, but that gods in general were still bad. And so
I
he
gotcha.
should have wished for all the other gods except for them to be killed.
See, that's the thing. He was under the wrong kind of justice, if you will, where he's like, it's absolute justice. It's all or nothing, right? Only a Sith deals in absolutes. But he was also corrupted by the Necrosword. We saw it immediately because he wasn't going to kill him until the Necrosword came up to his hand and went, kill him. It's basically like the Doc Ock thing where they're in his head telling him to be evil. And then once he works... Yeah. The second the sword breaks, even though at the end he's still trying to get to it, his demeanor basically changes where he's like, I don't care about you. I'm not trying to fight you. I want to go and save the person I love. And he sees that and he's like, fuck, it is about the person you love. It's not about vengeance.
Yes, but I mean, look.
The influence of the sword was what was driving everything. And they said it's a curse on the user
yeah,
as
it's
well.
a curse on the user because it kills you.
But now that it was
Like a
broken,
cancer.
yeah, now that it was broken and he had nothing left, like a cancer, Jane's cancer, and
Yeah.
it was broken. Now there's nothing left. He was basically gonna die, and in those last moments, he realizes that's what it's about.
Yeah, but the thing is that
That's what the
Gore,
whole thing
Gore
is
in the
about.
show, Gore in the movie is
Yeah.
too chopped up. His story is too chopped up. That because they had to spend more time on
was a
Thor
little
and
fast.
Jane.
It was a little
So
fast.
they had to focus in more on him because they even culled his fucking backstory. It's not just that his daughter died and his race died because of the gods. It's that specifically because of the not caring, the what's the word, the when you don't really care about something.
Indifference,
Indifference, I guess, but there's another word that starts with an A and I can't remember it right now.
ambiguity, no,
No,
apathy,
ambivalence. Yeah, apathy. The apathy of the gods. Everyone in his family specifically dies due to that.
Well, that's what he was. That was
the
implied.
implication, but you don't see that. You only see his daughter, and you see
He says, all of our people and
all
all
you
of your
care about
worshippers.
in the movie, though, it doesn't matter what they say. All you care about in the movie and all they focus about is
Of course it
is
matters
the
what they
daughter.
say. That's
No,
what
it
the
doesn't.
movie is.
Because they, like offhandedly, some more people died. You really care about Thanos' planet?
No. Well, yes, you do. Yes,
Exactly.
you do.
No, you don't.
Because
No,
he
you
even says,
don't.
"Hey,
He says
my
it,
planet."
but they don't make you
was-
focus on him.
You
Like
say Thanos or Gore?
I said Thanos because
Okay.
you don't care about like in Infinity War, you don't care
Mm-hmm.
about Thanos' planet. Like he's like, oh yes, he's using it as an excuse. Like
but because we know that that's not the issue. The
Like-
issue, like he could make more stuff. Everyone can think that. But in his mind, his own version of absolute justice for Thanos, at least, is he's right. He's right. He has to be right. Right. But with
Like-
Gore, it wasn't. He had to be right until he got
and
the
I
sword.
have the comparison too because unlike with Thanos, Gore's motivation in the comics is also the fact that his daughter died, but they don't just settle on that, and you feel the weight of his mother dying, of his spouse dying, and of his daughter dying.
I would have liked to see another 20 minutes of
You-
his family.
You
Either
feel that difference in weight, and so and once you feel that difference in weight, wishing for his daughter to come back isn't enough to quell his anger. It would just not be. It would not be anywhere near enough.
I mean,
That's why I'm saying
'Cause remember-
if they actually developed his backstory, this ending would be unsatisfying because it's not just the fact that like his loved ones died and he couldn't spend time with them. It's the fact that no matter what you do, as long as the gods remain in control of your destiny and remain alive, you will not find happiness. You have to create your own happiness without the gods dictating you. That's what this movie also. That's also the message of this movie.
That's not the message of the
That's
movie.
the message of this movie. That you have to find happiness without destiny, without fate interfering in your life, without the gods being in control of your life.
but the whole point of the gods was
I got that too.
But
Yeah,
wait,
that's
but-
the whole point of it.
No. I understand the destiny part, but the whole point of the gods were not interfering, which was the problem. Their apathy
Yeah,
is what was.
You're relying on
stopping them.
apathetic gods.
Them
God-
not interfering and you expecting them to interfere. Is
Yeah,
interfering,
that's the issue. And,
Yes,
and
I
they will
understand
keep
that.
wanting, and they will keep wanting. They keep you want. That's even in the first one. I can't find the words right now, but it's like the gods want you to believe that they will interfere because they want you as a worshiper.
They like that.
Yeah, they like the fact that you believe that they will interfere. They want to keep that there, and that's
they
why
want the faith.
They want the faith. That's why you have to find happiness without the gods, without wanting the gods. That's why the death of the gods was so important. And in this movie, the only reason why this ending is sort of semi-satisfying is because the only person you focus on is his daughter. If you had the time to actually develop Gore's backstory, and I feel that's why
Yeah.
they didn't develop his backstory,
Probably.
because they knew that if like they actually
Create a whole other
They
string of
can't
problems.
do
Yeah.
it. It's too much. It's too much story. It's way too much story
Yeah.
for him. It's like if they did Thanos only in Endgame.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
That's
Gore
it.
is too big of a character. Like the way that they beat him in the comics is they have to get 3 different versions of Thor, like basically God King Thor, or Rune King Thor, sorry, which is basically like omnipotent essentially.
Yeah.
Middle Thor, which is the one that we see in the film, and then Young Thor, Young Viking Thor. And all 3 of them have to team up to kill him, and even then they don't really succeed a lot. Like it gets complicated.
But then
But
again,
yeah.
that's comics, and in the movies, they're like it's that
but
whole
I'm
thing
saying
where
it
they
as
waste.
comparison.
Yeah,
It's a comparison because
they waste the villain.
it's not just that they wasted the villain, because even this film, I think that if Gore had succeeded in like killing all the other gods except Thor, like Thor proved himself to Gore, and that's still different from the comics, right? Obviously, like the way Jane comes about is that Gore tells Thor that he's not worthy, that he's not good enough to be a god. Like he never convinces Gore
Yeah.
that he's good. But in for this film, the way that they portrayed it, a good ending would be Thor being really the only god surviving, and then him still getting a daughter. Like make it so like, oh, Jane ended up being pregnant and gave birth or something.
She
And
had
not
cancer,
necessarily
yeah.
that, but like it's something,
Yeah.
just another way to get an
daughter?
adopted daughter. Yeah.
Well, that's what he did in the movie.
No,
he
yeah,
did
but
get
that's-
adopted daughter.
Yeah, that keep that part,
Okay.
but then make it so that Gore's wish is still to kill all the gods except Thor.
Yeah. Well-
And then that you could still bring in Hercules that way, because Hercules is like, oh, Thor failed in stopping Gore and let him get to the thing, and then that's how Hercules becomes
Ah.
antagonist. They could keep everything and make the movie like 10 times better by making it so Gore wins. Giving Gore the W in the film would make it so much better, in my opinion.
But that's the other thing too. Like he's not gonna have it be another Infinity War. It's gonna be a depressing movie. I would have liked to see him slaughter people though. That would have been cool seeing him actually killing some of the gods. Like even just a montage in the beginning, because the Zeus had a throwaway line too where he said, "Oh, it was just minor gods," you know. But it still would have been cool seeing him be like, "Oh, but I'm a god," blah blah blah. Like that one god in the beginning. Oh, cool. That's when he forms. But it would have been cool seeing him be like, and then whoosh, and you see like an extra 5 minutes of him murking some gods, you know, here and there when they're like, we can never be
You also don't get the full extent of his power. Like, what does he do? He can make He can make like
he can control the darkness.
Animals, darkness,
little dark symbiote things. Like,
Basically, animals. They're not symbiotes, so we can't get sued. So you know.
What do you mean? They own Spider-Man
No, they
right
don't.
now. They co-own it with Sony.
But they
It's still
can't do
not
anything
full
without the
ownership.
approval. They
Yeah.
cannot do anything without the approval. I'm telling you. Oh, did you guys watch Ms. Marvel? Finish it?
Not yet.
I don't care for Ms. Marvel, dude.
It's so
You're
good. It's such
racist,
a
man.
good one.
I'm
It's
kidding.
so
racist?
good.
No, I'm kidding.
the story is shit, dude.
It is a very
It's really
slow.
good.
It's a slow story.
I think it's good.
It's
I've liked
Turning
the
Red
episodes
meets
that I-
fucking
No.
meets Shang-Chi, dude.
It has some of the same problems that Falcon and the Winter Soldier had, where it's like nothing really happens in the middle. You're kind of just waiting for the last 2 episodes,
So
which
it's-
is a problem in general in TV right
so
now.
It's Turning Red meets Captain America.
No. You can't just combine 2 completely different things.
It's
Listen,
two things, and it turns
Listen.
into Miss Marvel, dude.
Listen.
Wait, no, I recently
is-
saw Turning Red. It's nothing like Turning Red.
No.
It's
not.
exactly like
It's-
Turning Red.
It's not.
It's nothing like Turning Red.
It's what is okay. So
Her
what is
friends-
it? Her parents having certain traditions and ideals, right? And her not meeting those things because of where she lives now. Now, what is Turning Red?
Dude, that's like basically every coming of
That's-
age
Yeah,
story.
it's a coming of age
But
story.
what's
like
You're-
that's in fucking Holes.
Yeah, that's a
like-
coming of age story.
Yeah.
That's what.
holes? How's it in holes?
Wait, is it Holes the ones where like there's like those group of kids? The one that McCormick had us watch.
Stand By Me?
Wait, is it Stand by Me?
There's a bunch
There's
of
a bunch.
there's
It's,
a
like,
bunch of coming of
everywhere.
age. Yeah, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
coming of age movies, but the basic formula is my parents don't understand me. Everything their their traditions that they're still clinging on to, but I
Yeah.
want to do the new stuff. I'm gonna rebel.
Here comes an inherited power from my ancestors that my mom doesn't know about. That's Turning Red.
that parents don't know about.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but that's all
no,
again.
but
a
the
lot-
mom
a
didn't
lot
know
of
about
fiction.
it. The mom did know about it in Turning Red.
Well,
Remember? She controlled
so
it.
did the mom with Ms. Marvel, right?
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
No, she did not.
Where'd
She
she get
didn't.
that bracelet from? Isn't that
The
like
grandma knew about it,
Yeah,
not the
so
mom.
same thing. Except it's not instead of now it's a mom, it's a grandma.
But
But
that's
it's the
I'm
same
saying-
thing. It's Turning Red.
It's like someone in the family knows about powers or something, and you get to unlock your potential.
Yeah.
That's a coming of age story. That's the whole
that's
point.
just a coming of age story. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like literally everywhere.
The fact that it's like a hidden power in the ancestry of this
Yeah.
person. It's
That happens all the
makes
time.
It Turning Red. Where else is it?
Jake
like that?
Long, the American Dragon, that's also in there.
Okay, where else?
Fucking-
Besides old Disney Channel shows.
Moon Knight.
Danny Phantom.
Which one?
Moon
Moon
Knight.
Knight.
He didn't know he had powers.
The
But
girl
that
He
wasn't
didn't know.
inherited in him. That wasn't like his ancestors had Moon Knight into him. That he came.
The girl
across.
did. The girl was hereditary. The girl knew about the gods.
His girl that he liked.
Yeah,
Layla or
yeah,
whatever.
Layla.
Well, besides her. But even then, she's
Besides,
not the protagonist.
besides.
She's not
Okay,
the
okay.
protagonist. She's
Okay.
not the
Okay.
protagonist.
I mean, it happens all the time.
Fucking-
Septimus Heap. It's a book story where it's
Yeah.
a kid how he accidentally got abandoned and then turns out he has
It's
magical powers from his
literally-
family.
it's
Percy Jackson.
it's literally-
Percy Jackson. One of like the
Coming
most
of age
famous
stories.
things. Fucking
Harry Potter.
Percy Jackson.
Harry
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter
fucking-
was a muggle, wasn't he? Wasn't he?
No, he was not. He was wizard born.
Yeah, he was
and his
wizard
parents
born.
were secretly wizards, and the aunts and uncles kind of knew about it,
His
but
parents
didn't
were
want to
like
express it.
his parents were like one of the two of the highest rated wizards ever in like the wizarding
Exactly,
world.
and they only got murked by the
That's why he was
highest
so
evil
rich.
wizard.
But the story of Harry
Fucking,
Potter wasn't that
It's a coming of age story.
It's a coming of age
It
story,
wasn't
yeah.
that his parents were wizards. It was more about like him finding the reason why.
He's a wizard
Why?
because
He's a
it's in his
wizard, Harry.
family.
Yeah.
What's his
Fucking-
hidden past? He needed
Hey.
to figure that out.
Fucking what else?
In Turning Red, she has to figure that out.
Yeah,
in
Turning
but
Red
that's
too.
but it,
Kamala Khan has to figure it out in Ms. Marvel too, and that's what she does. No one tells her.
But they have the help of their they have help of their parents. They have the help of their parents there to like tell them. Oh, this is something
Ms.
that's
Marvel
happened.
didn't have the help of her parents.
Ms. Marvel didn't have the help of her parents, but also
Then who was that dude then?
Harry Potter had the help of his friends and people who told him about his parents
and
as well.
Dumbledore, who was basically like his father figure,
And his
Hagrid.
godfather,
His
Sirius
godfather,
Black. It's all the
yeah.
same stuff. It's all the same stuff.
It's
Yeah.
all. If you want to take the basic
It's a
premise of like
series.
someone finding out that they have powers that they've
It's
inherited
a
from
fucking
their
coming of
ancestors.
age Disney Channel bullshit, dude. It
It's
really
not.
is.
It's not.
That
it is
even in
Marvel.
horror books because how do you call it? The Demonics is a horror series where the main character Grady finds out that he's hereditarily a werewolf that transforms and like savagely kills people, and he has to learn how to deal with that.
Exactly,
It's
so-
like, and he has the help of his
Every
uncle,
come to
who's
nature.
a magician who knows how to like control like the werewolf curse. That's a part of their family
You got-
that he never knew about because
Yeah.
his dad decided not to.
What
do
happened to
that.
what happened to
Okay.
traumatizing events that later lead to great character development, like
So, like Hawkeye?
originally? Yeah,
Like the girl in Hawkeye, you mean? The series we just finished seeing?
Yeah.
series of events like.
Yeah,
what-
she was traumatized. Not really traumatized.
Not really
She was
traumatized.
inspired by Hawkeye from a traumatizing event.
Yeah.
The attack in New York.
But she
The
wasn't
attack
really
in New
and she became,
traumatized.
but she became a hero because she was inspired by him.
You,
guess
are you
so.
saying that like getting your house bombed by
It's just an
random
easy feat?
aliens isn't traumatizing?
Come on,
I mean, she was still able to like fight it and do things against
because
it.
she was inspired by the
Yeah.
hero.
She got character development because of trauma.
You guys don't care about spoilers, right?
No.
Spoiler alert. For Ms. Marvel, she's a mutant at the
Yeah.
end.
Why is she a mutant, dude?
Because she's in the comics.
But she doesn't. She didn't. She wasn't born with the fucking power. It came from a stupid bracelet.
It didn't come
No,
from a
the
bracelet.
unlocked her actual
That's
hereditary powers.
stupid,
It-
dude.
no, no.
So she can do all that construct
It
stuff
turns
without
out-
the bracelets now.
it turns out-
Yeah.
She can?
Since episode 2, she could.
No,
No?
she still needs the bracelet. But the thing is, in the last episodes, they say it's just a conduit to help her channel it, but it's latent, like it's built into her already, right?
And it's not like
So
there's
I'm-
not other mutants that do that. Fucking
Exactly.
the fire guy can't generate his own fire. He can only manipulate it.
Who?
At the beginning,
Oh,
in
one of the- yeah, yeah,
X-Men
yeah.
when he
Where
comes
he
out,
lights it and then
he has to have a lighter to like make it grow and like
Yeah.
do that. He can't generate his own fire.
So
he
one-
needs a conduit.
But it's still coming. The combustion, the thing that the fire combusts, it's coming from him. Right?
No, he had a lighter.
He can only control it.
Yeah, yeah.
He can only control it and make it grow.
Later
But
on, when he
can't-
learns to harness the
Yeah.
abilities, he can. But it's
Yeah.
gonna be most likely it's gonna be the same thing with her. Once she harnesses the ability, she's not gonna need the bracelet. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen in the Marvels, like the movie.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the series, she switches places with Ms. Marvel, with actual Captain Marvel, and then Captain Marvel was there, and she's like, "Wait, what?" Because she, at the end, she's tapping her bracelet, and she switches places with her because of the bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
You
What do
don't
you mean switches places.
like she goes, "What the?" It starts glowing, and then she taps it, and then she goes, and then boom, Captain Marvel pops out in her room, and she's like, "Oh no!"
And was she where Captain Marvel was?
Yeah, but we don't know where she went
Yeah.
because we don't know
So
where
how
Captain
does
Marvel
How
was.
does that correlate with Captain Marvel?
We don't know
Is it
yet.
The same,
We
do
don't
they
know
have
yet.
The same energies or something.
They do have the same energies.
Yeah.
They do have the same energies.
Space Stone energy. Because that's where Ms. Marvel got hers
cosmic
from.
energy.
Cosmic
they call
energy.
it. So, yeah, cosmic
Yeah.
cube and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's
Well,
what-
not cosmic cube. The Infinity
so
Stones
no, that's
were.
what they called it. That's why.
fucking-
Oh.
That's so fucking lame, though, dude. I'm a mutant, like,
Yeah.
because a bracelet made me.
No,
made
no.
it
No,
come
no.
out.
The-
Like,
One of her friends looked into her DNA and she was like, "There's a mutation in there," and then you hear the slowed down.
Also,
But yeah.
also in the at least in the comics for comparison, the mutant gene activates at like the randomest of things sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
You-
Magneto's unlocked just through like trauma, just through like emotions.
Black Bolt killed his parents by accident.
Yeah. Well, he's an
He's an
inhuman, but
Inhuman.
yeah,
You get what I mean?
they're
basically
combining
yeah,
them because the
yeah,
only
yeah,
reason
yeah.
the Inhumans exist is because like copyright shit. So like I'm guessing in like the thing now that there's no more copyright issues,
Yeah.
they're just combining the two.
Yeah.
so Inhumans are gonna be mutants. That's
Yeah,
fucking whack.
basically. I think so. I personally think so. Because there's just a little bit too much. Like the crystals glowed green. That's like basically the Terrigen crystals that unlock
Keeper of the Terrigen
abilities.
is-
Yeah.
And then he blew up.
So
Broke till Friday. You hungry?
I'm
Why
starving.
is she the mutant, dude? That's fucking whack.
It is what it is. Broke Friday.
We're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. Now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday. Bye, my friends. We'll see you next week. And now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday.